Hey everybody, we're back again to look at another product that was sent over. This time, we got a little mini PC from WOWE. Now we have a feature up on the website about the best budget mini PCs for those looking for a second computer, maybe someone looking for the first computer for a child, someone young, or a grandparent or something that doesn't need a lot. They're simply going to be doing some word processing. They're going to be checking emails, maybe a little YouTube and Netflix. And for a kid, someone that's just using it kind of to experiment or starting school with. Something that's not going to be able to play high-end games. Now, the idea for these is real simple. They're very small, they're very compact. Most of them fit on the back of a monitor. They're just out of the way. They're very popular in business settings, but we think they're very popular, or should be very popular, in the home as a second computer. Now, we have a number of gaming rigs. I have one off to the side right here that I use. Now, the problem with that is that gaming rigs and gaming machines and computers in general are getting more and more powerful, and that's great, but that also means more and more power being drawn from your house. Not a big deal if you're at work, but if you're at home, there's probably no need for you to run your high-end PC with that Titan card in there, 4080, sucking 1,000 watts of power all day long, if 90% of the time you're going to be scrolling the internet and doing some web searches, right? So the idea of this is to supplement your current PC and maybe save you some power as well. And that's what we've actually done with a number of these. Use one of these guys to write, to surf, to do casual work, and then when we game, we'll turn on the gaming PC. We've actually seen a reduction in our energy bill, which is great around these times. So this is from WOWE. This is the mini computer, the AMD Excavator. There's the model number there, and they sent this over after we did our feature to get our hands on it because we talked about it. Now, what makes this one unique and what made this unique in our writing is this the only one we've seen so far that features an AMD chipset. Most every mini computer are going to feature the Intel Celeron. I forget what the model, maybe I'll pop it up, N something, but a very low powered, low end chip. This was the only one in our research we found that was running AMD inside. So the box itself is pretty basic, nothing out of the ordinary, some package. You can see here the detailing. This is the WOWE mini PC with AMD extractor. Okay, it's got a bunch of stuff. So this is our unboxing. We're just going to open her up and see what's inside. Talk a little bit about the overall construction, and then hopefully we'll have a secondary video here of it in action. And here's my kitty deciding to wake up because he heard crinkly paper. So this is the box. We're going to open it up. He's going to help out. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, I know. Now he's scared because he got new smells. And here's the inside of what we get. We get a basic user manual. It's actually printed on high gloss paper. This is actually nice. Most of the time you're going to get real cheap flimsy paper, so that's cool. You're going to get two compartments. This is the PC itself. It's hard doing this through a viewfinder, but let's see if we can get this out. Maybe we'll have to get the whole thing out. Okay, we'll get that case out. So this is the machine itself by WOWE. Let's tear it open and get rid of that. Now this is small, right? It features a number of ports, very clean, just with the logo on top. I would say it feels like two hockey pucks stacked up together in terms of size, maybe a little bit bigger. And oh, he's very interested in it as well. So let's take a look at a couple of ports up here. We've got two USB 3.0 on the front. That's great. We have a USB-C and a microphone. Now, one of the features of this we haven't seen on others is the USB-C port in there. Now, that's only for charging and data, so you're not going to be able to put a monitor or anything like that onto it. So that's the front. We look over on the side. We've got a little lock thing, Kensington lock, I believe. So that's for a business setting. You have a micro SD card slot on there as well. On the back, you have something interesting. Here's the power. You have two HDMI ports. Now, this is one of the few machines as well that's capable of dual screening with these two settings. We have another one featured that had an HDMI port and a VGA port, which is a weird older setup, but this is one of the few ones that had dual HDMI ports, which is great. You get an additional two standard USB ports on the back, and you get the LAN port over there, and here's the certification. So, what about the specs? Well, the specs on this machine are actually pretty surprising. Here's some of the info on it. So we'll take a look at the manual itself so we can go. This has the Excavator chip, the platform, the A9-9400. Now, I haven't heard about this one, but this chip has been used in a number of Dell laptops, and those laptops are currently ranging from between $400 and $800 at the time of this video. This machine itself runs for about $119. Now, you can get it on Amazon through WOWE, and there's often a sale, and I've seen this model hit about as low as about $98 to $95, right in that range on sale. So if you see that, that's a pretty good price for what we're going to go through. So, cache, L2 cache, 1 megabyte here. The GPU. So the CPU is fair. It's a decent chip. That chipset, I think, came out around 2016, so it's a little bit old at the time, but it is tried and tested apparently. The GPU is what we're interested in. That's going to help us with those dual screens, as well as if we want to do any sort of gaming, something that really isn't possible on most of these mini PCs. And we see that it's an AMD platform, and it's using the Radeon R5 series. That's the mobile R5 chipset, which is pretty darn good in terms of performance for most basic games. If you're playing MOBAs, stuff like that, you should be doing pretty okay. You're not going to be running here probably on super high settings, but you should be doing fine. Technology on the memory side, it's using DDR4 single channel. So what we learn from these mini PCs is the RAM is pretty much solid. You're not going to be able to mess with it. Most of the time it's soldered right onto the board, but I think everyone that we looked at besides this one is actually running the much older DDR3 RAM to get its job done. So it's running DDR3 instead of this DDR4. Now the memory has 16 gigabytes max. I don't know if it's preloaded. This one, I believe, has some upgradability. I believe it's loaded with 16 from the jump, which is actually pretty good. It has extra room. It's got Wi-Fi there. It's got the SD card slot that you saw where to go on the side for expanded memory. Let's see. The storage built in is 128 gigabytes, which is actually pretty darn good. SATA hard drive. There we go. It's got a fan built in, so we'll see how loud that is, and it supports Windows 10. Now, every other machine of this type comes standard with Windows 10. Most of them can't actually support Windows 11. Don't know about this one, since it is more powerful. That may be an option, but for most people getting something like this, we'd actually recommend sticking to a very light version of Windows 10 with everything turned off, which runs fine, or we'd recommend jumping into a Linux distro, something smaller or something lighter, maybe something like a Zorin or something like that, or Mint or something, which will heavily increase the speed. So this is the basic overview for the mini computer, the AMD Ryzen. We're kind of excited to jump into this one. What do you guys think of this device? It has a bunch of ports. That USB-C is exciting. We're going to put together another video. We have a full written review coming up as well. So we're going to put this through its paces. We'll throw out some games at it, see what it can do, see if it's worth your time and money to invest if you're looking for something small as a secondary machine. A lot of people have told us that they have this in a guest room. They might have this in a garage, especially if they're working from home and need a little dedicated home office as opposed to sharing their home PC with it. So let us know in the comments below what you think of this unboxing, what you think of the little WOWE. Would you use it? And stick around for our next video coming up here where we put this little guy, this impressive little guy, through its paces. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.